My new boyfriend is horrible at sex, what do I do? So I've been hanging out with this Adonis of a guy at this wolf sanctuary I volunteer at, and he's one of the main handlers. He's super sweet and super kind to the wolves and other animals there. We've been talking for a while and became good friends. We always have our lunch together. A lot has changed for me this year and he's been there by my side. Things started heating up and he wanted to hook up, but I told him I needed to build trust before, and he asked my out and we've started dating. Every night we hang out and it's been great. Finally, last night we had sex. I was so excited. He's such a sweet guy with these awesome broad shoulders and he's just has a great personality and physically, but today I fucked up. But the sex? Why did it have to be so bad? He did all the foreplay right, but with the sex all he did was go balls deep and grind. No jackhammering, no slow in and out, nothing exciting. At first the grinding felt good, but after I needed more. When I realized he wasn't getting into gear, I asked to be on top. He was amazed at the feeling of actually fucking and he came super quick. He loved it and I was left unsatisfied. He's like 30 or something. How has no one told him? I can't bear to look into his puppy dog eyes and hurt his feelings. I was hoping after seeing what I was doing on top and the fact he liked it so much that he would do the same next time. After the first time he was so cuddly and affectionate. And when we had sex again it was the same thing, just deep grinding and nothing else. He's perfect in every way except this. What do? I don't want to embarrass him, but I get enough exercise. I don't want to be taking control all the time. Edit, everyone seems to think I'm a woman, but I'm a guy. I'm new to the gay community and I'm not used to telling people. Everyone just started to assume I was a woman, and then I got scared people would be angry if they found out I was a guy. So yeah, I'm a dude, a bisexual dude to be exact. So please don't send me hate messages or homophobic stuff, thanks. The answer to me seems pretty obvious, but no one else has said it, so he was probably already about to bust 30 seconds in, and was doing that grind to prolong it as long as he could. Just be an adult and be honest with him and teach him and try to come from a place of care so he doesn't get self-conscious. Just like 95% of the questions here, just have an honest and open conversation. How has no one told him? Can't bear to look into his puppy dog eyes and hurt his feelings. Well, there you go. Also, hurt his feelings? What are you planning to say? Like, you don't need to go all out, wow you're horrible at sex, WTF. Tell him what you do want. There's no need at all to focus on the negatives. Just tell him what he should do. Look at what you just said. He's 30, you asked how has no one told him, and yet you're afraid to tell him. That's exactly why no one has told him. If you want to improve your sex life, communication is key. If he doesn't handle it well, he'll just continue the same pattern, which is exactly what's apparently happened. So talk to each other about what you both like. My M41 wife F40 is accusing our son of being gay because he's on a swim team. This has been happening for a little over 2 weeks now, and after telling her twice on different occasions to stop, she keeps refusing to. That's why I am here to hopefully find more answers/suggestions on how to handle this situation. I told my parents yesterday, and we're gonna have a follow-up tomorrow, but I wanted to also hear some more opinions to hopefully bring to the conversation to see all available options. My son is 16, and he is currently on the high school dive team. For years before that, he was on the regular swim team. When the pandemic hit last year, a lot of school transferred online and the team didn't meet, but now that the school is starting to get back in the swing of things slowly, sports is returning, and he's excited to get back with the team. However, my wife has recently had a change of heart that came out of nowhere, and it's really taking a toll on him. She began telling him that he needed to move on and do more masculine activities such as going to the gym and other stuff like that. Thing is, he already does go to the gym, but her main thing is that she wants him to quit diving because it's too feminine for him at this age. And I told her that she was being ridiculous. She said that diving was all about grace and not manly enough too. She also said that the majority of people who do it are probably gay, and then a few days later said that he would probably become it himself if he continued to participate at this age. I want to point out that my son is straight as far as I know. Upon talking about her recent words, He's told her herself that he's had a girlfriend before and that she should just leave him alone, but she continuously claims that he's becoming more feminine, and this often aggravates him and me as well. When I try to talk to her, she constantly says that I'm being too light on him and that he's not seeing an example of masculinity from me, that he'll need to find a wife. And that one really ticked me off when she said it a few days ago. I'll also state this: he came from gymnastics growing up, and he found the transition into diving pretty easy because of it. However, even back then, although I didn't think much of it, she said that he was getting too old for a girl's sport when he was about 11, but again, I didn't think much of it then, and he was starting to lose interest somewhat anyway, hence his transition into swimming before the dive team. I don't know why my wife is acting like this all of a sudden, but my son is often yelling with her over the matter, and I'm just trying to find out what to do/say while also consulting my parents at the same time. They seem to believe that it's connected to something in her past that she hasn't told me about throughout our many years of marriage, but deep down, I'm worried that she's unsatisfied with me for something relationship-wise and not wanting him to be like me. Stop focusing on whether or not your son is gay and start focusing on dealing with your wife's homophobia. If my wife ever said things like that, she'd have divorce papers before it even finished coming out of her mouth. I'd support him either way. My main concern is that she's not stopping with her accusations after telling her twice, and then continuing behind my back. I love him no matter what he does, but this behavior is out of left field and destroying our family as it only continues. I'll grab counsel, but I'm also still stunned at how random this is. A lot has been said already, but there are several issues. 1. Labeling sports as manly and girly, in which the girly one is somehow worse than the manly one. So your wife is teaching your son that feminine things/women and things they enjoy are inherently worse than men. 2. That swimming could somehow turn your son gay. Teaching your son that sexuality is a choice or that someone can be turned, which isn't correct. 3. That if he was gay, that she would not love him as much and that being gay is bad. Teaching your son that her love is conditional, and that homosexuality is bad. 4. That women only like manly men. This is so toxic in so many ways. Men already have so much in society making them feel insecure about who they are and whether they are the ideal masculine man. There is just so much insecurity and weird gender/sexuality stuff being taught to your son this way. I would hate for him to grow up to be someone who abuses women and feels like he can't express emotions in a healthy way, because that's not what real men do. Just collecting these points here for you to consider when you're making plans for talking to your wife, your son, etc. 1. Being feminine is not a bad thing. 2. There is no such thing as becoming gay because X or Y. If you're gay, you are gay. You won't be turned gay. I mean, first I'd call her out for being homophobic. She should love your son unconditionally. How feminine or masculine your son presents should have no stock in how much his mother loves him, and that she'd treat him differently over it is honestly a little heartbreaking. To tell him to quit anything for fear of his being gay is homophobic. Next, I'd remind her that she's creating a toxic space in the home with this, and urge her to seek therapy. I wish I had better advice. And I understand that not everybody can be persuaded to therapy, and maybe you can lay down some incentives, but she needs to work out why she is projecting these fears on him, and why they are fears at all. Hurts like hell to see my 21F first love, 22 meters, have a kid with someone else. I feel like a part of me always thought we would find our way back to each other, but we didn't. He was my first boyfriend and I was his first girlfriend, and we dated for 6 years. We went through a rough patch where we were on and off, but we always talked and stayed close. We broke up for the last time 6 months ago and he got another girlfriend. He still stayed in my text messages and always wanted to call or meet up, but I never wanted to be a home wrecker, so I never responded. I just seen their baby announcement today and now I just really feel heartbroken. Sorry you're going through this. The best way to get over someone is 1. Go no contact. Block them on everything. If they can't contact you and you can't see their updates, then you can't be triggered into remembering the good times. 2. Keep yourself busy. This will keep your mind off of them, also helping you from thinking about them. 3. Improve yourself. Learn something. Take up hobbies, have fun. Again, keeps your mind off of them. 4. Exercise. Uses up your energy and helps you fall asleep faster, so you don't lie in bed for hours remembering the past. Take care and give yourself self-love. You deserve it. You're 21. Trust me, you don't want a child right now. Having a child in such a young relationship rarely ends up well, so don't feel jealous or envious at all. Easier said than done. But you have to stop thinking about your ex. It's an art I can't seem to master, lol. Wait. So within 6 months he met someone else and knocked them up? Also keep in mind that most people wait a trimester or so until they announce the baby to the world, cause the risk of miscarriage is quite high. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he probably rebounded and that baby was not planned for in sound mind. I'm not saying that to be cruel, I don't really know what my point is, on meds and they make me go a bit dolly, but it needed to be said. Take it from someone who's only a few years older than you and who's been in 3 long-term relationships, all with people I thought I would end up with. When you fall in love, really fall in love, whether the person is right for you or not, it's always going to feel in the moment like that person is the only person you ever could or would love. But it's not true. Everyone has so many people out there that are meant for them, it just comes down to circumstances. And unfortunately enough, it seems like the circumstances just weren't right for you and your ex to be endgame. But you know what? You're gonna be okay, and you're gonna find someone who's right for you now. If this is what you need to finally move on from your ex, then take it as the blessing it is. Your ex has moved on, and so should you. Also, be glad to not be him or her right now. As the child of parents who didn't have kids until their late 20s, early 30s, and who fully intends on doing the same like my siblings before me, I can tell you that you're much more likely to enjoy motherhood and cherish it when you have the resources, and unless you're Kylie Jenner, nobody has that at 21 or 22. Take charge of your own life, do what you wanna do, and keep yourself open to love. But close the door on your ex.